Alright. Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing alright. Hope last night hasn't affected you too much. Hope you didn't go to bed as depressed as clearly as I did. And for at least the first part of today, we're not talking football. This is a football-free zone. We talk about life, talk about mental health, talk about family, talk about purpose, talk about anything else. I asked for the questions on Instagram, we've got tons. And actually a lot of them circling the same sort of themes. So I'll just speak on some of those themes to kick it off with, and then we'll move into the sort of specifics and the questions that people have got. So one of the main things that people are asking at the moment is around sort of productivity, organising, where do I fit the time in for stuff? Well, a big one is getting up at 5:30. Or, I'll be honest with you, it's not 5:30 every day. Today it was 5:45. It's not as set in stone as perhaps I would want it to be. But the idea is to get up early and get some stuff done. How do I find time to fit the gym in? Well, I make time. One, I made it a priority to get it done. And I do a lot of my gym time in the morning, and I get it done before I have to get my daughter ready for school. I try and get as much done as I can before 8 a.m. I get back in the house, jump in the shower, and by like 10 past 8 I'm ready to help get her ready for school, and then I do the school run with her. So then 9 o'clock comes, and if I've still got something that I need to do in the gym, which sometimes happens. Monday used to be a day like that. I've flipped it since we're doing Vibe with 5 back on a Monday. I have to get over to town to get into the office to record that now. So Mondays is now a day in the office, which used to be a day at home. Or work from home. I try and get it all done, so come 9 o'clock, if I have to go to town and be in the office, I'm usually in the office for 9:45 on Mondays, Thursdays and Fridays. Wednesday is a day that I usually have at home, like yesterday. It's a day that I try and spend at home because I'm usually working on a Saturday. And then Tuesday I start late. Tuesday I typically go in about 3 because I don't finish till midnight because of football training. And my week is kind of setting a routine like that. One of the biggest, sort of most impactful things I've done for my routine and making sure I'm productive is I have a moleskin book, like an A4 sort of, I think it's an extra large size moleskin book. And really simply, I write a few headings. One is needle movers. These are the 2-3 things that if I get these done today, I can like mentally go, yeah, today was a good day. We was productive today if I hit those 2 or 3 things. Then I have my to-do list. I write it down in pen, in a biro. And then on the right-hand side I have fastballs. So that's stuff that just comes up that's maybe not quite work-related. It might be like, oh, I need to renew my insurance on my car. Oh, I need to go and collect that thing from the post office. And then I chalk them off. And it's as simple as that. And I don't know what it is about using the pen and paper rather than using the notes app on your phone. You get a bit of a sense of dopamine of chalking something off on your list, and that's that. So, some people call it, there's a dead rat. Some people will call it a journal. I don't write I don't diary in it. I don't be like, dear diary, today was a great day because United got dicked on penalties by a League 2 side. I'm doing that. And I'm like, dear diary, today I'm grateful for... I ain't doing that. But we'll write down what needs doing. I don't know if that's a hangover from the military things, but I always have that moleskin book with me. Or if I ain't got the moleskin book with me, I have a field notes book with me. There's one in this. Like this little sling here is from a bottle, but there is a field notes pen and notepad in it. That's definitely a hangover from the military. Right, let's get into the questions. Do you prefer runs or walks? I'm only really sort of getting into running in the last year, really, so I would say walks. For a few reasons. One, you can walk further than you can run, typically. These morning ones, they're as much of a mental headspace as they are an exercise. But they are an exercise. I treat them as part of an exercise. Trying to walk every single day. Trying to do a couple of miles every single day. I can walk to the gym and it can take me 10 minutes. So I go the long way around. I make it take 35, 40 minutes. Why do I do that? Well, I do that to get my mileage in. And like I said, a couple of days a week, I go somewhere else and I do a 10k, 6 mile. When I joined the army / reserves at 35, yeah, it's probably a really good age to join. You've got a little bit of life experience about you. Yeah, I would. What was it like spending the day with DJ Shipley? So for those not aware, DJ Shipley was SEAL Team 6, Dev Group, Development Group, US Navy SEAL. We didn't spend the day together. We spent, it wasn't just me and DJ, that sounds really weird, doesn't it? It was about a week. And the week that we spent was preparing Jay for the Shawn Ryan Podcast, which has done millions of views. 6.5 hour long podcast. So Jay obviously works for GBRS, lead instructor. Has had visa issues because he was incorrectly accused of and then subsequently cleared of murder and war crimes. But when they got to the bottom of it, he was cleared. But his entire life had to go on hold for 3 years because of that. So he's still been in the employment, sort of, I guess, of GBRS, or his contract with GBRS has been on hold for that, but they want him over there, they want it resolved. They want him to lead all their shooting instruction over there. And I guess because he is a GBRS representative, they want him to go into that podcast as prepared as possible. Now, DJs is one of the most popular podcasts on the Shawn Ryan show. It's an incredible podcast if you've never seen it. And I went as a mate, really. I do have a little bit of podcasting and YouTube experience. So I went for that reason. As for what it was like hanging out with DJ, surreal. I have a Patreon. I am a patron of GBRS Group because I like their content. I've done for years. I am literally wearing a GBRS shirt. I'm actually wearing GBRS socks as well, if you want to get into it. The socks that match this beer Pro Top. So when when it's like, go hang out with a guy that you're a patron of for a week, yeah, it was bizarre. But the conversation was brilliant. I think me and DJ are like within a few months of each other. Me and Jay within a few months of each other in terms of age. And obviously we're all GWOT kids. None of us ever served together. Jay did a little bit of stuff on the SEAL Team 6 selection as an instructor, but DJ had already passed through by then, and they only met as Jay was on his way out of the SAS. And me and Jay only met a year ago. So none of us technically ever served together, but it was cool. It was cool, and yeah, the conversation was class. And I've said to Jay many times, for me, my sort of self-talk was always negative and aggressive. Like, fucking get a grip. Because I think that's sort of what you kind of brought up with in the military. But I like the GBRS stuff, hence like I'm wearing this vest right now. Like, it's not performative. I literally appreciate those sort of small messages. I've got a new phone, so this phone doesn't have it, but my old phone has got Be a Pro as a sticker on the back of it. I like their 1% better every day sort of Be a Pro mantras. Hard to kill. You know, I support that sort of stuff because maybe it's a little bit American in its sort of delivery, but you know, I spent a week with Jay in July last year, which literally kick-started off me getting off the Red Bull because he had free samples of the optimized stuff on a course that I did with him. Like, it's insane. I chat to Jay every day now. It's insane to me, like, accidental meetings like that can be so impactful. Would I have got off the Red Bull then? Probably not, right? But I really do appreciate the sort of the more positive, more Americanish sort of mantras. Jay's a little bit American in his ways. He obviously spent time with Delta, spent time with Navy SEALs, and his talk is a bit more American than the British military is. The British military is quite cynical, quite negative, quite British in its way. British mentality is, who the fuck are you? Don't put your head above the parapet. Don't make noise. Don't check in on each other. Suck it up. And my sort of self-talk was always a little bit negative like that, and it maybe didn't work. Maybe I feel like I responded a little bit better with encouragement. And that's just that self-encouragement. And that's why you see me wear the Be a Pro stuff. That's why you see me carry one of my notebooks is a GBRS notebook, Be a Pro. And I say that to myself as I pick it up, as I go to do whatever with it. Is this benefiting my team, my tribe, my mission, what I'm trying to do? And then if it's not, it goes. I think that's really, really important. And for me, it's been really, really impactful. So what was it like spending time with them? It was amazing. And it wasn't all cool Navy SEAL stories. A lot of it's, the conversation is family, life, headspace. How are you coping with this? How are you coping with that? It's funny, DJ's telling about, the DJ Shawn Ryan Podcast has got like 4 or 5 million views, something like that. Might even be more. And prior to going on that, prior to going on, it was blurry face, but DJ was also blurry face. All of the content that they did was anonymous, hidden, like face blurred out on all their content. And since going on that, obviously they do a face reveal and then they're out there. And I was sort of saying to Jay, you're going to go, similar to what I did in a way where you start doing the stuff that I did with Full-Time Devils, you're going to go from being anonymous to, then your face is going to be out there and people are going to come and want selfies with you. And I'm 10 years deep onto this thing now and I still find it really strange and sometimes a little bit unsettling. And I was chatting to DJ about that. And DJ, literally, we're standing outside a hotel waiting for an Uber to come and pick us up. And DJ says, listen, every day someone will say to me, I saw the Shawn Ryan podcast. And then talk about it. The Uber pulls up, 0.1 of a second after that, we get in the Uber, and then the Uber driver goes, did you do the Shawn Ryan podcast? And I turned and he's like, but yeah, it was cool. It's cool, and I can't wait to go to Virginia Beach to go hang out, do some shooting, and go see them all. Weight vest recommendations. I have a 511 one, but you can get them, probably get them on Temu, and they'll probably be fine. You don't need to pay like 180 quid for one. Just get the weights off Amazon. But yeah, the 511 style one is a good one. 1.5-year-old son, newborn daughter. Any words of advice? You're probably just about getting to where it gets cool with your son. And as you probably know now, and for those who don't, this is what it's like. For the first year and a half, 2 years, you haven't really got the cool stuff yet. The cool stuff with kids comes when they've got personality. And kids come out of the box with their own personality. Janine's not like a very girly girl, but Blake is all about unicorns and rainbows and princesses and stuff like that, and that's how you know. And that was her coming out of the box at like a year old. That was what she liked. That was her jam. Like, kids will have their own personalities and they will just gravitate to things that they like. And that's where it gets cool, because they're their own little human with their own little ideas. And you can try and make them like the things that you like, but they're not gonna. And I have a quite funny relationship with Blake at the moment, because she likes watching the football with me, but she don't like football, which is quite fun. So she just took it upon, she's 6, right? She took it upon herself last night to do maths herself, rather than watch United and Grimsby, which in hindsight was probably the better move, really, wasn't it? What did I think of Croke Park? Some stadium for an amateur sport. Yeah, I mean, this summer I've been to Auburn University, which was amazing. Got a full VIP treatment there and a tour of that. Show me what's possible. Obviously, only saw Croke very quickly, briefly in the daylight while you're getting in there for the concert. But yeah, it's an amazing thing. Someone's going to have to tell me what the script is with GAA. Is that the way you say it? Being an amateur sport still. Is it still fully amateur? How's that work? Would I recommend the British military for a 20-year-old to sign up, want to do RMC? Yes. Listen, if you've not seen the podcast, it is now on Spotify, by the way, the podcast, so you can listen to it rather than just having to watch it on YouTube. The delay was getting a partnership with Spotify, but it's done. Got done yesterday, so it's on my Twitter. The first couple of episodes, we do speak to people from the military, and the episode number 1, right at the start of episode number 1, me and Dave speak about how, for both of us, and for a lot of people that are going to be there week 1, day 1 with you, all people have ever wanted to do is join the military. A lot of civvies see it as, like, that's all you could do. But it's the wrong framing. A lot of people who join the military, it's all they wanted to do. There's an episode dropping today, probably drop about lunchtime, I would think. If you're interested in fitness, specifically high rocks and elite testing, you need to check that out. So it's with a guy called Mike Chadwick. Mike Chadwick was a parachute regiment PTI. And Mike literally changed the Army's thinking on how to train soldiers. Turned the parachute regiment selection pass rate from, I think it was 20%, it might have actually been 10%, I can't remember, into like the 80%. It's well worth checking out. And now he's a strength and conditioning coach that works with like the very, very best high rocks tested people. So it's well worth checking out for multiple reasons. It's not just an Army podcast. In fact, it is barely an Army podcast. It's very much a fitness podcast with a guy that used to be in the Army. But yeah, what I would say is if you want to do it, do it. The military isn't for everyone, but it's definitely for someone. And if it's for you, it's the best place you can be. What's one sport you'd love to try? I reckon you'd love ice hockey. I'd like to have tried American football. I would like to have tried American football. I don't know if I'd be any good at it, but the way I played rugby league, I think you cover me in those pads and I'm going to fucking hurt people, and I would really enjoy that. How do you meet Rio, and how do you grow closer as friends? I don't kiss his arse, despite some of the comments thinking I do. I think he gets probably a little bit of changing room banter with me that maybe he doesn't quite get in the rest of this industry. So I guess he likes that. How do we meet? Rio watches YouTube. Rio will quite often send us other people he's watched on YouTube, other things he's seen on YouTube. Like he's just legitimately into that. Like when he joined Twitter and probably got bollocked off Fergie for doing so years and years and years ago, that's just him. He's on the pulse of that sort of stuff. So Rio used to watch us. And when I first met Paddy Everett, the reason why Paddy said, so if you don't know, I used to do Paddy's socials. So when I first met Everett, what he said to us was Rio and Carrick used to always put our videos in that group chat that Rio always talks about. That group chat's called Panda Brothers, by the way, which is quite cool, isn't it? Where would I place the north-south divide in England? For me, it's like Birmingham sort of area. I don't know if anyone would agree on that. Do I ever get lower back pain? That's my biggest issue when I get a good groove going. No, I don't. The girl that I do my fitness stuff with, we do it like a partnership. She's having back pain at the moment. She did doing hip thrusts, because of course she did, because that's just fucking birds for you, innit? She's having some shockwave therapy on the moment, which she says is working and is quite good. Thoughts on a refeed day when dieting? I think it's probably got more to do with psychological adherence than it has with any sort of science for like increasing your metabolism and stuff. I don't believe that I was on super low calories and I was on it for months and the weight came off. I think it's just maths. But I reckon having a refeed day or a cheat day or something like that, I reckon there's psychological reasons to if you can stay adhered to a diet for 6 days because you're going to have a cheat meal, because a cheat meal is probably a better idea than a cheat day, innit? Let's be honest. Then maybe that's the move, and that's the way that you stay stuck to the diet. What's my beef with the Beatles? They're crap. What's my go-to weightlifting session to hit full body? Don't really have one. Not a full body one, at least, anyway. On Tuesdays, I've stopped it now because I'm doing some specific high rocks prep and I'm moving towards doing a 2 a day, which is 2 high rocks sessions. But I used to do, on a Tuesday, a tactical, what I call tactical strength. So there's a lot of rotational strength in that. There's no bodybuilder, apart from today. Thursdays is a bit of a bodybuilder split. It's chest, back, biceps, triceps, shoulders. But that's the only day I sort of do any sort of muscle building. All the rest of them are sort of like strength, which is not necessarily about trying to get bigger muscles, but it's a lot of like rotation or anti-rotation or core stability type stuff. So there's a lot of landmine stuff in there. There's a lot of one leg stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff that's rotational in there. If I was to move outside the UK for whatever reason, where would I move and why? I would really struggle to move out of the UK. And believe me, I know it ain't perfect. It's far from perfect, actually. But I do like the UK. I like that there's pretty much zero animals that are going to kill you, or insects that are going to kill you. I mean, that's a real positive. I like the weather. I wish it was sunnier more often. But I actually do like the weather. I like the fact that you can get it hot and then you can get it cold. I think there's something about it being changeable seasons and you having to be prepared for that sort of stuff. Favourite brand of workout gear? My go-to is probably in the dead ground with the short shorts that I wear. Just a veteran brand, innit? Quite a few testosterone questions, and I've been getting testosterone questions for a good while actually. So I've written a video. I haven't recorded it yet, which will go on the IRL channel, which is literally just a test. Let's talk about testosterone. Because I see so much nonsense written in the comments about TRT. It's steroids. It's the reason why I lost all the weight. You don't need it, just sleep more. Saying you don't need it, sleep more, is like, would you say the same to someone who needed glasses? Or someone who's got a broken leg? Because it's the same thing, it's a clinical deficiency that I've got. So I will do a whole video on testosterone, and it'll probably be a 20-minute long video, and hopefully I'll answer all of the FAQs that everyone's got about it. But the bottom line is, I've been on TRT for 4 years. It took 3 years to get it right. You don't feel supercharged on it. You don't feel, oh, I feel amazing now. I feel normal now. I'm on a normal amount. I'm actually still in the low normal, actually. But I'm in a normal range, and I just feel normal on it. Like, I wake up some mornings and I'm tired. I wake up some mornings and I feel good. I'm just normal. But for me, I feel normal. And for the years where my testosterone was in the fucking toilet, I did not feel normal. I was irritable, I was tired, I was unmotivated. And that was the biggest change when I got on it, was that. Like, I felt like I wanted to go to the gym. I felt like I wanted to be able to lose the weight. That was it. It was probably more of an emotional change in me, in a positive sense, when I got on the TRT. Certainly didn't feel like, oh, nothing like that. But yeah, anyway, we've just successfully killed 26, call it 27 minutes there, not talking about United. That's a win, innit? 5 things will be out in a few hours when I get to the office. I'll do player ratings later, where while I do the player ratings, I'm also going to look at them quotes from the manager, because oh boy, do they need looking at. And might even do a live if there's a here we go. Otherwise, podcast gets released later today with Mike Chadwick. Check that out. Go and subscribe on Spotify. Go and subscribe on YouTube. And check it out on Patreon as well, because I'm putting all the workouts that I do on there, and we're answering all your questions and stuff on there as well. And the community is growing, man. Trying to get it to 1,000 patrons. It's grown loads lately, but we can do more. And if we do more, we can do more. Nice one. Cheers for the support. Hope you have a good day. And I genuinely mean it. I hope you all have a good day. It's Thursday. The weekend is almost here. You can nearly taste it. See you in a bit.